Published 1901 Est. 16 November 2017. Updated 1934 Est. 16 November 2017. Britain sent almost £50 million in aid directly to China in 2016 and nearly £100 million to India, where it was used for yoga lessons for heart patients. Britain sent £1.5 billion to the EU last year to spend on overseas aid projects, including help for coconut farmers in the Caribbean. One scheme promoted African dancing and another funded juggling lessons in Tanzania. Figures released yesterday showed the chunk of the UK's aid budget that is funneled through the EU soared by £177 million, or 13%, in a year. It came despite warnings about how we don't have any oversight over the way Brussels spends our aid cash. The data also revealed how we sent almost £50 million in aid directly to China in 2016 and nearly £100 million to India, where it was used for yoga lessons for heart patients. Tory MPs last night urged new International Development Secretary Penny Mordaunt to get a grip on how the cash is spent. A large proportion of Britain's bloated aid budget, which topped £13 billion last year, goes via international boss such as the EU. As long as the UK remains a member of the Brussels bloc, it has to fund 1/8 of the European Commission aid budget. Last month, while still in charge of the Department for International Development (DFID), Priti Patel said we just give a chunk of money over to the European Commission which we don't have any oversight over. She added there isn't much oversight and transparency and accountability. Among the EU's projects were a £1 million scheme to help coconut farmers in the Caribbean boost the quality of their produce, and £167,740 for education in Dar es Salaam, including samba, acrobatics, juggling and trapeze lessons. Some £581,152 went on promoting the cultural heritage of and dance in North Tanzania. Last year £1.5 billion of the UK's aid budget was sent to the European Commission, compared to £1.33 billion in 2015. The money Britain gives to the EU contributes to the government's target to spend 0.7% of national income on aid. Our aid spending reached £13.4 billion in 2016, up £1.3 billion on the year before. Tory MPs last night urged new International Development Secretary Penny Mordaunt to get a grip on how the cash is spent. Meanwhile, despite pledges to stop sending aid directly to India, last year Whitehall officials spent £92.6 million on projects there. The amount sent to China jumped by £2.6 million to £46.9 million. UK-funded schemes included £86,616 on testing whether yoga helps people who have had heart attacks in India. In China, British aid cash went on improving dementia care in Qingdao and a program encouraging pupils to eat less salt. Tory MP Jacob Rees-Mogg said the problem with a set target is that it means money has to be spent. Spending money to teach money on yoga in India is spending money to teach Catholicism to the Holy Father. Fellow Tory Sir Bill Cash said people will find it hard to believe aid is going to places like China. John O'Connell, of the Taxpayers Alliance, said the whole aid budget needs a serious overhaul so that it is based on helping those actually in need, not making politicians feel good about themselves at international meetings. A DFID spokesman said the UK's development funding through the EU reduces poverty. All EU development programmes are individually scrutinised and approved by the UK.